Alrighty then, folks. Welcome everybody to Overwatch 2. Tonight is Stevenson University versus Long Island University. We have played against Long Island here before on the channel, but tonight we're making it official as we're playing against Long Island Post. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. If you do notice, we are on Ilios to start. This is because the rotation of the map pool has changed yet again. During week 4, the map pool will be Ilios, Palacio, I definitely butchered that, and Route 66 for the first 3. If a team would be able to wipe the first 3, then that would end the series, because this is a best of 5. Now it's going to be up to both teams to truly get a going here. Alrighty folks, I hope you're ready. We're going to head right on in. Let's start off with Unit from 49. He's going to be leading the charge here as the Zarya on Team Stevenson. The Mustangs will be making their way on in, and I do want to add that Stevenson is going for a full green setup of skins. Something I really do like to see. As for Long Island University, they're going to be playing a bit more of a poke comp here, as you can see, with the pharmacy and the snipe of Farah. Oh my word, what a kill! Just immediately shutting down Stevenson's soldier. And now Stevenson is forced to back off immediately in order to try to fight another day. Ooh, and I believe Giraffe made a fatal flaw there by trying to play it safe. See, as you saw there, the Lucio was one hit away from being eliminated. However, rather than making a push in as needed, he backed off or had to reload. Mistakes were made there and it cost him his life. Let's take it from the eyes of Rinzer, the healer from the side of the Mustangs, who's going to be working real hard to try to keep the team up. And now it seems that Stevenson is in a dire predicament. My word. And they're going to have to play for a reset again. As it stands, this is not looking good for Stevenson, to say the least, because they've had to back off for the past 2 fights, and now we're at 50%. Long Island University is doing very, very well for this first go-around. I'm actually quite happy with the amount of gameplay we're coming out of the Sharks. Shows good effort and practice as they were trying to prepare for Stevenson this upcoming match today. And now the sights of Stevenson is very, very exposed here. But once again, Giraffe falls, traded back by Wisner. Now it's going to be Rinzer versus the Farah, and Quest is able to save Rinzer. But it's not all sunshine and flowers here, as we're seeing Stevenson is now backed up into a corner yet again. And from what I can suspect, they're not going to be able to take the first point here, despite the immediate double kill they were looking for. In one moment, folks, let me just correct some sounds. It's always a little different when you're playing on your own versus the streaming, so slight technical difficulties, my apologies. And now we are on to the second point of Ilios. This is going to be the well. As you can see here, both sides are looking to try to play for the range. What really matters here is how you take advantage of this pit going in to the map. With this, both sides are ready to go, and I do want to point out, we do see Narisa come out from Stevenson. That is a first pick I have yet to see change out of their comp in the past 4 weeks. So I'm curious how it's going to affect this decision here. And we are underway. Stevenson making their way through the cage here towards the point. However, Giraffe is playing for the long game here, looking for a hook. Let's see if he can nail it. In position right above the pit. However, he needs to push that a little better in order to try to get an environmental. Right now, Stevenson has the advantage and is taking the space here. As you can see, Cynic is going all in. Helping move his team around, getting the picks off while Quest is there to clean up shop. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Stevenson. I welcome the change. I feel like this is something that I hope to see for the future going forward. Getting some damage out initially. Definitely dealing some early. But it's only about 20% at the moment. There's going to have to be a lot more coming on out for Stevenson in order to hold this point. If not, it will cost them. Oh! And it seems that Ninja is going to have to really play it safe here. Ninja Nick is not in a position to really secure a kill quite yet, but they're making great poke. Oh, and Giraffe has succumbed to the damage once more, even the Mercy. But Haley's able to make the trade-off for it. With that, Rinzer gets the final pick onto Ninja Nick. In fact, speaking of Rinzer, let's tune in on him over here. The Ana on the side of Stevenson. Apparently having to deal with some fancy footwork from Quest. We're seeing here, the Sharks are going to try to take a different angle now, which is a welcome decision here. However, Giraffe's in a world of hurt. I mean, oh my word. What is going to be your game plan here, sir? Not great. We do see the Kiriko has been swapped over to instead of the Mercy. So this may help long run? Question mark? Because right now, as you can see, Stevenson is just going in completely. The barrage comes out, finds no one as 49 starts to make the space. Stevenson definitely has full control over this. Without a doubt, we're going to go on to round number 3.
Step Rider.
So I like what I'm seeing. I hope you all are as well, because what we're seeing is some quality gameplay. It was one-sided on the first point and one-sided on the next. So maybe we'll find a nice even medium here on third point here, which is the Lighthouse. The Lighthouse is a great utilization of both the low ground and the high ground from either side. So if you can take advantage of that, you will have the advantage of full control over the site. It's just going to depend on how either side plays this. We do see that there's going to be a Tracer, Zarya, Reaper. I'm not sure about this, but it's interesting from the Sharks. As for the Mustangs, they're sticking to their bread and butter and what worked for them last time. And I'm curious how it'll all handle out. The point opens up in about 15 seconds or so, and Quest is in a great deal of danger. As you can see here, the Sharks are stuck on the outside of the point. They're playing for poke here, while Stevenson plays it quite openly. However, they do start to fall. The damage is being dealt at a fast rate, and Stevenson needs to start finding some sort of picks here. Unfortunately, they're just not able to at the moment, and they're going to have to play for a regroup.
Maybe I'll try something different this time.
Probably going to see some swaps coming out here, and we're seeing just that. You see Rinzer has swapped over to the Moira, an actually very welcome pick to see coming on out. Typically, Moira's been used a lot more as of late. Oh, but what's this? We do see that the Reaper is in on the back line, and he's going in for it again. Having no issues, just staying where he is. Well, OIU is going to be playing this a little bit safer now that the beat has dropped from Stevenson. Pulse finds no one as Wisner is able to shut down Haley. Barrage comes on out or Blossom I should say. Death Blossom is able to find a double kill. Damage has been dealt and Stevenson cannot turn the tables. With 50 seconds left on the clock, Stevenson's going to have to really try to work some magic here. Gain some picks in gameplay. We do see that the overclock is ready to roll. It's going to be up to Wisner here to try to find the plays. Biggest thing here is going to be about target focus here. If they can choose who they want to pick off first, that's going to be really advantageous. But Quest is the first to fall, followed by Wisner, and the grab comes on out. It's too much damage, honestly. We do see that the Coalescence has been popped here. Can Rinzer find the value they're looking for? Doesn't seem to be the case, unfortunately. There was just too much against them. Oh, but the overclock has gone into play. And they're trying to find their picks. More a half, but not down. Now it's just Wisner possibly to make the touch here. They're able to secure the kill on the Moira. Can they get the Zarya? Not quite. And it seems that Wisner has been booped off the map. Things are looking quite dire here. It's only going to be Quest who could touch. And now Quest has been downed. And Stevenson takes, I should say, Long Island University takes away the win. God. An interesting first map, to say the least. Long Island University, thanks to this Blossom here, was able to take it away from the Mustangs on Ilios. Ilios is not what it used to be. With these fast-paced games and just, how was to describe it? It's just so fast and open and damage dealing that you can't really tank things like you used to. You typically get melted at an alarming rate. In any case, we're on to our second map now. Paraiso? Paraiso. Paraiso. The Brazil map. I cannot pronounce it for the life of me, and it's so annoying. In any case, because Stevenson lost, they do get to decide whether they are going to be on the attack or defense first. And if I know Stevenson, I believe they'll want to defend this first. Because defense is typically easier than being on the attack. But nonetheless, only time will really tell for certain if that's going to be the right decision. After all, what you really need to find in this game here is the right picks and target focus. The ult tracking is great from either side. They know what they're going to use and they temper it as needed. But you need to be able to have that little extra something when you go into these games, a little more pizzazz, if you will, that will catch your opponent off guard, either to distract them long enough or to think you're not a nuisance to take full effect. But nonetheless, I do think that the strategy here, especially on this Brazilian map, I've given up trying to call it anything but the Brazilian map. It is the Brazilian map. Alright? Give me a break. But the thing about this map here is that high ground and dive are the key most powerful comps you could run here. Yes, Zarya is strong too, but with the Zarya Brawl, against high ground, it's quite useless. So you're better to see a Winston or a Diva be used. Preferably the Winston, just because of the electricity. The damage is actually surprisingly higher than you would think. Along with DPS following up on the supported callouts, you will melt your opponents surprisingly quick. It's not Overwatch 1 dive, it's Overwatch 2 dive. It seems that Stevenson's ready to rock and roll, but Long Island's trying to get hydrated here. Remember, folks, it's good to stay hydrated. It allows you to be able to think better as well as just have a better time making callouts. Nonetheless, Stevenson is down by one map to start here. I believe the way this works is that we'll see a King of the Hill, Hybrid, Escort, back to hybrid, or no, not back to hybrid, then it would be a push map, which would have replaced the 2CP map selection, and then finally back to a King of the Hill, if needed. So from what I'm guessing we'll see from Long Island, and this is just a speculation, is that Long Island's definitely going to run the dive with the Winston as they did on the first point of Elias. I doubt we're going to be seeing an Orisa play from Stevenson. It's a possibility, but you never know. Nonetheless, we're finally in game here. Enough of my rambling. You guys are here for the gameplay, not to hear me chitter chatter. And now we are loaded in. Welcome to Brazil. It's a very, very colorful map. You will love it here. In fact, this is the map that features the beach. And as players, you can go out to the beach and enjoy the sunny day. It is based right by Rio as well. So, and if you take a look over there in the distance, the domed feature, believe it or not, that is the Lucio Ball Dome, where you'll be able to play Lucio Ball during the summer events. A fan favorite of all Overwatch players. If you don't know what Lucio Ball is, think of it as soccer, but with the character Lucio, who plays as a frog. Pretty much as a Lucio, you will be able to boop and just jump around and ride walls. He just has a good time, tons of energy, love to be around the guy.
I learned too young that my body couldn't always keep up with me. Besides, it's hard
In any case here, as you can see, down in here, there is the Winston. They're ready to rock and roll. Giraffe is just hungry for some devastation. Let's see how he makes this dive here, going on into this defense against a Zarya. As you can see, he's actually playing it smart. The Sharks are ignoring all of Stevenson, and they're taking the point immediately. The downside here is that going to be positioning in particular. As you can see, Cynic was not in the greatest position and got hacked out by the Sombra, which Stevenson was not aware of quite yet. But thankfully, there's not enough damage to really hurt him here. As we can see, Stevenson is holding just fine. And they've actually pushed the Sharks back to their spawn doors. However, I don't believe they know about Ninja Jack. Turns the corner, finds everyone. It's a hacked double play here. However, Ninja Jack must back off. At least he loses life. As you can see here, it's going to be up to Wisner to keep himself up. Seems that the Sharks do not want to try to make this push on the high ground. It would be very detrimental to them if they played this carelessly. Oh! And Quest saved by the bubble by 49. That's going to help them out in the long run here, and it seems that we might be looking at the Sharks playing for just ultimates right now, rather than trying to go in. Because Ski's job right now, as we can see, has just been trying to hack in order to begin plays and then build up their ultras, because once they're able to EMP, it does deal damage, unlike the old game. Oh, and if I believe we saw that, there was a sleep that came out from Rinzer there, which was quite beautiful. Now comes on out just to keep Quest up, but those things can be built up very, very fast. So as we can see here, Quest is going to take full advantage of that nano the best he can just to build up the nano, or the blade I should say. Grab is ready to go here, but it seems that 49 wants to save it, which I do not blame. It's a good idea to save the grab for a good team fight, but it probably would have been better just to zone away the Prime Mode Winston in order to try to have a better time to heal up and then recontest. Nonetheless, the point does get captured by Long Island. So now Stevenson's going to have to force their way back as the Sharks make their way into the depths. We'll even be able to get to see the rest of the map now thanks to that. So let's take it from the eyes of Quest here, who has a blade ready to go. And no nano yet, but it is at 55%, so it is fast building. might see a chance for an aggressive beat to initiate this fight here. Ooh, and just denying the hack as well. Seems that grab comes on out, and all the damage with it. My word. Not much else left to say when the enemy's already dead. And as you can see here, the points only made it halfway through the streets. So they're going to have to get it a lot farther in order to get it in front of Lucio's hideout, I would describe it as. Club Licenci... I can't even describe it. It's a hard time to say. Oh, the bottom comes on out. And it's only able to find Rinzer, but the damage has been dealt. As you can see, both healers on the side of Stevenson have been lost. 49's able to trade back to Winston, yet there's just, it's too much. Too much damage has been dealt, and now Stevenson's going to have to really try to play for a recontest once again. However, I don't believe that Ninja Jack's going to allow him to do that. As you can see here, just positioned right on top. They now make their push against Stevenson here. However, Haley is the first to fall on the side of the Sharks, but Quest is traded back. So now you're seeing a bit of a complicated mess, I would describe it, as all ults are coming on out here, and you just got to play for zone. With that, now it's just one last Mustang. However, as I say that, Quest actually comes in with the blade. He's stalling out the point. He can't climb the walls because he's hacked. It's strange for a ninja to have that happen to him, but that is the case. So now we enter the club, and it seems that the Sharks are swarming their prey now. The Mustangs are quite separated, and they're going to have to play to live here. Windsor is able to trade off with a kill onto Ninja Jack, but the damage is too great once again. I mean, that's the biggest thing I'm harping on in this series is just damage, damage, damage. With so much damage going in, you gotta really try to play your corners, out damage, or pace yourself. And whenever you hack an opponent, it does extra damage though, similar to a Discord orb. The NATO comes on out onto Wisner, trying to snipe the Sharks. Able to find the first, which is a healer, and looking to find the second. Does just that. The Mustangs are up here in terms of an advantage, but can they stay alive long enough to keep it? Because despite getting 3 picks, the Sharks still make their push. And it's just going to have to be another regroup for this next upcoming team fight. We do see that there is a beat as well as a grab ready to go from the Mustangs, while Ninja Jack is the only one with an ult, being the Death Blossom. And we're going to be seeing Ninja Jack here, probably working this Death Blossom right to the center of them. But he gets caught off immediately, and it turns out you cannot escape a grab anymore despite trying to wraith away. That is something I did not know. You learn something new every day, I say. They must have made the Zarya grab just a bit stronger. From what we can see there, the grabs are just phenomenal. There is no swaps coming out from Long Island yet, but as I say that, Draft has opted towards the Zarya. Not a bad pick in my opinion, but they're going to have to try to make up for the energy differential against 49, who I must say does not have any energy at the moment, and isn't going to for a moment because of the bubbles are gone. The beat does come out, and Wisner getting the triple kill, followed up with a quad thanks to 49. My word, that went completely in the Mustangs' favor there. I don't believe Wisner had any idea how much value he got out of that slowness orb until the damage was already dealt. As we can see here, overclock's ready to go. There's about 15 seconds left on the clock for the Sharks to make this push towards the 3rd point. We do see High Noon is also ready and available. Let's check in on that. It's going to be used here right now. As he tries to find some targets, he is getting pushed around by a Reaper who's all over the backline, but Cynic's there, able to follow up on it. Let's see if Ana is doing alright here. Just missing the first shot, but I would not have woken up that target with Nano in hand. Now you're not going to have that Nano to distribute here. And the Mustangs are going to have to play for third point on their attack. Round 1 is complete into overtime. If the Mustangs have the opportunity and the ability to, what the Mustangs need to do here is cap third point, as you see here, with at least a minute on the clock. If they can do that, they'll be able to at least force a draw, minimum, out of this map. And it does not count for or against them. But what it will count as is forcing Long Island to play for the draw, because you can't lose when you have a minute plus and the enemy team is on overtime. I am liking what we're seeing here with the poke comp from the side of the Sharks. As for Stevenson here, okay, not a bad composition. I mean, this is Stevenson's bread and butter here, but they need to work something different. Probably just play the point as they go towards it, just like the Sharks did, and try to see what value they can get out of forcing the Sharks down to the low point. Because as we can see, the Sharks are actually a poke comp. They're not going to work well against the Sprawl if they're forced to play point. And that's going to be perfect for Stevenson to pick them off one by one. Alrighty, and the rounds begin here. Draft's going to be holding the front line against this team. Oh, and Cynic is the first to fall against Ninja Jack. Ninja Jack hitting those shots is imperative as a soldier, because, believe it or not, Soldier does tons of damage now. Now we're seeing the push coming on out. Seems that Long Island is already predicting the push towards point. However, I don't think they were predicting the amount of damage that had to be dealt with it. As we can see here, Rinzer is going to be in a world of hurt, trying to deal with both healing the team and dealing the damage out. And as you can see, Stevenson not able to even get a tick as a minute has already passed by. So with that, Stevenson's going to have to play for a regroup. Neither side has an ult ready. However, Rinzer and Wisner are the closest ones to have an ult up. So we might see a nanoed overclock come into effect. As the team moves on under, we're going to be seeing, instead of rotation towards high ground, I believe this is going to be a different play, trying to force into their face a fight rather than trying to elongate it for point, which I don't believe is a bad idea. However, the time is ticking by against them. As we can see here, Windsor falls. Stevenson's going to have to make some sort of play here, or just get a general good 1 to 2 picks like that. There's the initial pick they were looking for. That's going to be just what they need to make their move on in towards the point. Now they just need to follow up with gain some more before the Sharks can regroup. And it seems that's happening now. The nano comes out and the overclock's in effect. There's the first. Can we see a second? Not today. Instead, we're going to be seeing that Ninja Jack here had a tremendous visor assisted by the Bob of Ski. Some great plays coming out here from the Sharks here, holding this point down under lock and key. Oh. And as we're seeing, Stevenson's starting to make a struggle here. Quest will not have Nano to go in. However, they're able to get the initial pick. And if this continues, I believe we'll be seeing a tremendously grand blade here. Let's take a look and see how this will unfold. The initial damage is going on out as they're looking to take away the targets. There's a double kill, nice and clean like. And they just start to clean up shop, taking away whoever's left from the side of the Sharks. With that, Stevenson will have the first point, while it's going to be up to the Sharks to try to reset themselves and prepare to play for this high ground here. About 3 minutes is now available in the time banks because 2 minutes and 30 seconds is granted when you first make the capture, and then another minute 30 when you capture the second point. As we can see here, the Sharks on the side of Long Island have full control of this high ground, and Stevenson's at a great disadvantage because of this. But despite this disadvantage they're facing, they're going right on in with no fear against them. In fact, as we can see here, 49 is already in their back line with everyone following suit. You gotta love those assassination long shots. Pressing as Wisner, both burning to the dynamite, but it's not enough to eliminate them. Ski's gonna have to do a bit more damage here and get some more accurate shots in order to try to secure these kills. Because right now, they're hurting. From what we can see here, the Sharks are now starting to feel a bit tense. They know they're in trouble and hurting. And we're probably going to be seeing a window come out just like that. The ground is returned instead, and we're going to be seeing a full, just dynamic of damage coming on out from the side of the Mustangs into the Sharks at an unbelievable rate. I mean, look at this. They're already dead. My word. The only one left to contest on point is a Bob. And he's gone. With that, another 3 minutes is built onto the clock. And the Sharks are now going to be in a very dire situation here. They're going to have to try to stall out this point as long as possible, even if it pushes it to overtime, because they need the time. They need the time in their favor to have hope of making sure they win this, rather than just have a draw if it was to go south. As we can see here, Stevenson's actually completely uncontested towards the point push. Surprisingly so, and the beat is initiated by the Sharks. Stevenson's backing off, but I'm not sure Long Island's able to follow up properly with the initiation. And as we can see here, 49 and Rinzer, they're going all the way in. They don't care about what's going on. They're just trying to get the damage in and clean up shop. Some great plays coming out from the side of the Mustangs. There's still about 2 minutes left on the clock, and we do see a Nano Blade is ready to rock and roll. As for the side of... Oh, sniper been spotted, so they're going to start making a dive here onto it. The Blade comes out, and they seem to have missed everybody. But, just kidding. We're going to be trying to see a cleanup on the Reaper, and it's good. It's unusual res from the Sharks. I'm not sure I would have recommended doing that, but they're able to secure the third point there. With that, Stevenson has the opportunity to not lose whatsoever, while it's going to be up to the Sharks to draw this fight. The Sharks are at a complete disadvantage now, having to try to not play with any time. However, they did very well on the first point, and Stevenson needs to learn from their mistakes going into this if they're going to have a hope at turning this series around. As we can see here, there's only 1 minute 32 seconds on the clock. Let's see what Stevenson's picking. Their bread and butter. They're going right to it. However, I'm a bit curious about the decision making here on the side of the Sharks. Why they have selected Azaria Pocom is almost beyond me. They may be looking to just try to support one another with bubbles while they go for pokes, or they're going to try to play brawl right into Stevenson. It's hard to say until we see what actually goes down. Nonetheless, time is clicking and the walls will fall. So we're going to be seeing how either side plays this out. Let's take it from the eyes of Wisner here, who's been the main damage dealer beside Quest on the side of the Mustangs. How they will approach this. There is Farah in the skies, and it seems they're going to be playing immediately for high ground, but Rinzer falls. Stevenson's going to need to make it some sort of trade here to turn the tables back around, keep things even. But it's not looking good here, to say the least. And we can see here, Rinzer has just respawned, and Stevenson's going to have to be playing for health packs. While the side of Long Island is just going to be playing, again, for poke and distance. It works in their favor so much. In fact, Ninja almost has a barrage already, which is quite maddening when you think about it. In fact, here it comes now. Barrage is ready to go. There's 3 right in front of him. He has an opportune time to use it. And there it goes. Immediately from point blank against Wisner. And finally a kill onto Rinzer. It's going to be up to Quest here to try to get a kill onto the healer and try to tie this up. Because as we can see, 49's trying desperately to get some kills. And is going to be possibly one of the only people to touch. But little do they know, Wisner has respawned and is waiting in the back line. He's going to have to go now. And he makes the touch just in time. So Stevenson has hope, but the hope is dwindling fast unless something can change. And with that, it's a draw. So we're going to have to see a 4th map in this series, believe it or not. Interesting. And Wisner here coming out with the play of the game. What a shutdown that we saw here. I mean, the first, the second, the third. Just so much value out of that. Quite beautiful to say the least. In any case, with that, we're going to be now moving on to Route 66. Hello again, everyone. I am your caster. This is how I look. For those of you just tuning in, I see many of you have started to tune in. So, as I have on the board here, it's going to be Route 66, and it's a pure escort map. The escort seems to be working very well for both sides. However, I want to say it was working a lot better for the Mustangs than it was for the Sharks. So we're going to be seeing how it's going to work that way, because right after this is going to be a push map. And between payload and push, they're literally the same thing. The only difference between the two is that a push map, you're going to be escorting a physical robot. I believe his name is Steve. I think. I'm probably wrong. Anyway. And then you guys will be... I'm sorry, I'm reading chat on the side and it's distracting me. It's late at night and I'm losing focus. But I'm trying the best I can right now. And it seems that Long Island will be taking the defense to start on to Route 66. Interesting. So that is what they're going to be doing. Honestly, I don't think this is a bad idea for them. As we saw, whenever they have the high ground, they just seem so advantageous. So, for what it's worth, I would believe for Stevenson to make a victory here, we're either going to have to see better ult usage or just maybe a change in comp. As for Long Island, they've been very flexible all around with how they play, so we'll have to see how that goes. But in any case, while these two sides are pretty much getting themselves situated, I'll try to just find you guys something to do here while we wait. Both sides should be ready here momentarily, so it shouldn't take too long, to say the least. But nonetheless, taking a look at the sides here, they're all slow about it. They don't know how to use it. So unfortunate. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a bit. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, everyone, welcome back. I am getting the question about seeing some sort of way for post-game statistics. Unfortunately, there is no way to see that unless we were to import a certain code, but that is for scrim rules only. Stats are going to be held in players' profiles, and we could look into them only if they are public. So as we can see here, we are actually going to be seeing a brawl come on out from the side of the Sharks. This is going to be interesting to see as a defensive. And as for Stevenson, they're immediately going for, again, their comfort pick. The change being Quest is on the Widow. I like the idea of this change up here. When we saw Quest on the hit scan, it gave the Sharks such a hard time. And as we can see here, it seems that Brawl is suffering just a little against this Zarya Brawl on the side of Stevenson. However, the damage is too great, and the Sharks have found 3 kills against Stevenson already. Stevenson already going for a reset. And it's as if Quest heard what I said, as he's gone over to the Cassidy. Cassidy's going to be a very, very good pick here, just with a fast reload and quick shots. If you hit them all, I'd say you're even better than a soldier, but you must hit all shots for the Cowboy. Moving in here, we do see that it's going to be a bit of a fight here for the Sharks, trying to brawl it out, assisting the Pharah in order to just try to push Stevenson back. And as for 49, he's kind of hurting here. He has a lot of energy, but he needs to find some sort of pick, or the rest of his team does, in order to start making a push here. Now, taking a look at this, the Sharks and the Mustangs are at a stalemate at the moment. And what's this? From behind, it was the high noon, but it does get rezzed, and the Sharks return the favor with a Coalescence and Shatter. So Stevenson is going to have to once again reset with 2 minutes on the clock to try to make some sort of push. Oh, and Ski just goes in and assassinates Wisner. Not looking too good for the side of the Mustangs here, but tremendous for the Sharks. We're gonna have to see, the Mustangs are really gonna have to try to place for some alt combos here. We do see that the grab is ready to go from the side of the Mustangs, and there's a great opportunity for it, but you gotta watch out for the lurking Pharah in the back line, coming from behind with the barrage. The sweep comes out, but the damage has been dealt. We're gonna have to see if this visor can find any value against the Mustangs. And it seems like it's not. As we can see here, the Mustangs have gone all in, finding the picks they needed and securing the rest. So now the Sharks are playing for just a recontest at this point, but they have plenty of time. There's a minute left, so the Mustangs need a lot more time on their hands in order to try to make this fight last longest. As we can see, the Sharks make their way on in. The overclock has been activated, and Wisner finds the first kill, with Cynic cleaning up the second. And as we take a look here, we're going to be seeing that despite Giraffe's best efforts, he is a one-man army who has fallen against a 3-man militia. When you get surrounded by that, it's just too much to deal with. So now the Sharks are going to be playing for the second point. Mustangs successfully capping the first. And taking a look at this alt economy here, we do see that Stevenson is ahead in the economics. So we're going to have to try to see if there's some way for the Sharks to find a way to make this comeback here, or shut down Stevenson from keeping this push going. As we see here, Ski first to fall, followed by the Mercy. The damage is being dealt immediately, and the Ryan is in terrible positioning. It's unfortunate to say the least. And Nano comes out, I believe, unneededly for the Mustangs, but the damage is already done. Cards have already been played on the table, and there's nothing else that the Mustangs can do there. Against the Sharks, who are now going to have 3 alts in the bank and will begin to invest with them. But 49 still has a Graviton at large. So we're going to be seeing here how they play this out. It's going to begin with the contest. Coming from down below, Giraffe's going to be leading the charge. The Graviton comes out, but it's an immediate double kill. High Noon activated by Quest, and it secures the kill onto the Reinhardt. The Sharks can literally do nothing. They've invested a Shatter, a Barrage, and it just was not enough versus a single Grav and Quest being able to build up the High Noon. So as we can see here, the Sharks are hurting. They're hurting real bad. In fact, they've gone over to a dive composition with the Reaper now. So they're trying to play for front line focused damage. And they're almost in a way trying to match Stevenson here with the Cassidy picks. Honestly, I believe the Soldier pick was the better go-to. But in this case, I'm supposing not, because Stevenson's just rolling over them. The damage is just tremendous, as we're seeing Wisner here finding the initial kill onto Ski. And despite Ski being res, he gets taken down once again by 49. He's just cleaning on up. And if this continues, the Sharks will have no chance on holding this point. The beat comes out just in time to save the team. Primal's not even anywhere close to being gained. High Noon's been activated. Damage dealt by a flashbang. And now it's just a cleanup shop. The Lucios and Reaper are the last ones to touch, but not in time. That completes round 1 with over a minute on the clock for the Mustangs. Alrighty then. With that, we'll be seeing how the Sharks are going to take this offensive. We saw most of these fights go in a brawly comp, which I believe was the worst decision they could have made there. It was working well for them on first point for a brawl to the front line and then a poke for the DPS, which staggered Steven out quite a bit. However, towards the latter rounds, it was at their disadvantage as Stevenson just rolled him over. But now we do see we're going to be finding a Diva here, along with Junkrat, Kiriko, and Sombra with the Ana against the Bread and Butter once again. It seems Quest is going to be playing a bit of the Woodsman today. I like the skin, but I'm not sure how I feel about the mustache. I'm going to be honest. Not sure if it's my forte. Moving along here. Going to be seeing who's going to take full advantage of this comp. Will the dive be too great of damage against the Mustangs, or will the Mustangs just burn down their opposition? Let's find out. We do see that Ski immediately goes up for a pick and misses, unfortunately. He's not hitting the shots he needs to find as a Widowmaker, and that's going to be hurting you. Let's take it from the eyes of Rinzer here, who's going to be healing on the side of Stevenson. As we can see here, he's doing quite a grand job. However, better watch out for Ski. Finding that 1v1 against the Soldier is going to be against your health. Never mind. You're taking away Windsor's health. That's going to hurt in the morning. But Stevenson's able to hold the line. There goes the first minute of 4 minutes against them. Right now, we do see that Ski is completely uncontested at the moment. And as I say that, little does Ski know, right from behind, immediately eliminated by Quest, the assassin. The sneaky, sneaky player on the side of Stevenson. You really got to watch your angles if you're the Sharks. This hasn't happened once or twice. This has happened 4 times already in the match now, and it's been hurting you. You need to start playing for these angles. If not, you're going to lose your life. Not much else to be said from there. As you heard, the payload has ceased its movement, and Stevenson already coming up on ults ahead of the Sharks. So the Sharks here are going to have to try to play for the picks. They're probably going to be looking to outplay, or I'd say out-pressure 49 from using their bubbles here. They now matched them bubble for bubble, and immediately Quest shuts down Ninja Nick, who went a bit over the top. Oh, but what's this? Look out, Quest is on the flank again. No one can stop him. The Graviton is ready for the side of Stevenson here, but there's no real need to use it because right now they're buying time and creating space that the Sharks need to start taking advantage of. Kiriko's ult is activated. There's a triple, but we do hear that the overclock has been put into effect. Just missing the shots barely, unfortunately. And it's going to be up to Stevenson here to try to play for a recontest. They've lost too many men, and they need to start getting out and regrouping. Now the Sharks have finally made their push round, just about at the exact same time as Stevenson made. So we're seeing a bit of a mirror kind of contest of these points, which just goes to show you how even these two schools are against one another. And now it's a moment of truth. There is a Nano and High Noon available, but you got to watch out for the Nano and EMP in response. EMP comes on out. Who's going to take down themselves first? The Noon gets slept by the Ana, that is Haley Park, who has a Nano online. Nano now been activated, and it's going to be hurting everybody in its wake. However, the damage is too great against the Sharks, as you saw there in the background. It seems that not just 1 or 2, but 3 players were picked off simultaneously while that Nano was coming out. So that team kill is going to really, really hurt them. So with 30 seconds left on the clock, the Sharks need to start making a play here. It's now looking a bit dire for the Sharks here as they start to make their push towards the point. Hack comes on out onto Wisner, and the damage being dealt. However, you gotta watch out for Quest. If you get stuck by that, it's gonna hurt. Oh, you can see the Sharks start to make their push in here, but it's gonna really be up to this Death Blossom to find any value. It's been activated, and it finds the first, the second. That's both heroes against Stevenson. However, Stevenson's gonna need to find some reverse picks, I should say, and they're not. It's just not there, and they get picked off one by one as the Sharks will be able to cap this first point. Now we're going to be going into a second point now. Moving on through, we will have a lot more high ground to low ground gameplay. So Stevenson's going to have to take advantage of their distance and range against the Sharks in order to fully take away their advantage of close quarters combat. As we can see here, the hack did come on out onto Rinzer. Rinzer is quite hurt. As I say hurt, I should correct that to dead. They were sniped by the Zarya on the side of the Sharks, and that's going to really hurt you. Just missing the kill shot onto the Moira. We do see that point is moving quite quickly for the Sharks. And little do they know, they're being flanked by Ninja Jack, who is just all over them. Overclock's been activated, and it's dealing damage. Nano's been paired with it, so Stevenson has no worries here, and they're looking to get some real damage dealt. Seems that Wisner was able to escape just barely, but that's enough for them. Barely is good enough when you're trying to play for pure survival. As we can see here, Stevenson just getting all the picks they are looking for. And it's going to be the Long Island University who's going to be playing for the recontest. A bit of ragdoll mechanics as we're seeing there. I always find them to be the funniest. Another minute left on the clock. That's going to start to pressure out the Sharks. Uh-oh, Ski's in a world of hurt. Thankfully, they're able to escape without much worries. But there is one person you gotta worry for. It's the Graviton from the Tsar. It even forced the Moira from escaping grab. Oh, and there goes Ski. That's going to be the first fall of many. The beat comes out, saving everyone on the side of Stevenson from that grab damage. And now Stevenson's going to be playing to clean up shop once again. It's only 17 seconds left. So it's going to be up to Ski here to make a touch. With 10 seconds left, Ski's going to be uncloaking here in just a matter of seconds if needed. They do just that, and they're looking to get some damage here. If they can build up an EMP, there is hope. But the High Noon gets a double kill with Wisner getting the double as well, and Quest gets the final kill. Map number 3 goes to Stevenson University. That now puts us at a 2-1 series in favor of Long Island University. But don't forget Ninja Nick. Just the man with a plan. Getting all the picks for his team. And quite the sharpshooter too, I should mention. Well then, we're going to have to see what our next map is here, because it will be a push. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Alrighty folks, welcome on back. We are here on a push map. It is New Queen Street, located in Toronto, Canada. So this is going to be an interesting one. This is the first time for Stevenson University to ever make it to map number 4. Because most times it's always been a 3 map for either side. So it's going to be interesting to see how the teams are going to be playing this out for the first time around. Oh, only time will tell as we load on in. We're seeing the bread and butter. It's Stevenson again. They're sticking to their guns. Well, on the side of the Sharks, Long Island University, they're going to be probably doing the exact same composition they started with. I believe a bit of hybrid, like from what they ended on. I'm not sure if this is the play, but it is a push map now, so it's really all about control of Steve there, the robot, who's going to be pushing the pillars, or the barricades I should say, to the endpoints. And as the teams come to the center, they meet one another. Now let's take a look at Ash here, who's going to be playing the sniping. And just immediately melted. I believe they put themselves way out of position and hurt. That's going to be felt in the morning. As we can see here, the bot has been captured by Stevenson. And Long Island's going to be forced to back off right away as Stevenson makes their push going on in. But it's not enough quite yet. We do see that Stevenson's just going to be holding back at the moment while they let their Anna escort the point.
We have bested their record.
Now, it's going to see how Long Island will react best to it. We do see that Giraffe is in the front line, but if you have to play so much in the open, you need to make sure you play around the corner there, as we're seeing Ninja perish on the steps. That would have been the best spot to position yourselves for your healers to help you on out. Right now, Long Island is getting steamrolled. The momentum completely against them, as we can see. Times can change, but they need to change fast in order for them to start making a comeback here. Especially with the point being captured halfway against Long Island University. We do see that Kiriko ult is ready to go. The archways have been activated, which it provides pure haste for the side of Long Island. But if they're not careful, they will get picked off by this overclock here. Or they will be at the mercy of a high noon. Stevenson does lose Cynic and Wisner. They're down several members. However, if they can keep Zarya up on the side, they may have a comeback here. Possibly. It's hard to say, especially when you're facing a 1v3. But it doesn't seem to be the case. There's still about 7.5 minutes left on the clock. If this point is captured here for Long Island, it will extend the time bank. This is the longest map now in terms of pushing. It's the longest one to play because of how much time they provide either side to make their pushes. Now we're going to be seeing here how Stevenson makes their push in. They have all 5 ults ready to go. They activate the grab and the high noon, but I believe it was completely unnecessary. It not overkill as well. But as I say, we do see that Ski gets a double kill, but it's not going to be long for this world against a double hit scan play. Despite losing 2 players, Stevenson's still going to be escorting this robot back to the barricade. So Long Island's going to have to move fast in order to clean up whoever's left. Especially since there is a Lucio escorting the Zarya towards the point. Just initially able to get the point moved. Now we're seeing that Stevenson has full control yet again. But they lose it to Long Island. Little do they know. Nano comes on out, and I believe the archways are out once again. That was so fast. It seems that whenever the point swaps now, the archways are ready to go. However, too many ults, and I mean it, too many ults have been invested in this fight here. Because as you can see, Stevenson actually is turning this around, surprisingly so. But Curse of the Caster there, as Long Island switches it back forth. Now with Stevenson here, they're going to be playing for a regroup, while Long Island's going to have to really be dependent upon this graviton that Giraffe has. It seems that, I'm not sure why, but yes, the point has been left alone on purpose. I'm not sure what Long Island's plan is here, but I don't believe that's what they should have done. It is smarter that they go for a regroup here, but damage being dealt and all, it's a bit too great. Now Stevenson's actually the one hurting. It seems they love to prove me wrong here, and I'm all for it. It's just a surprise to see each time. As Long Island is just going to be taking this point and barricade even closer to the checkpoint. Stevenson's going to have to play for High Noon, Graviton, and Overclock. While as for Long Island, they're looking at almost the exact same, I should say. But they have one more ult that Stevenson doesn't. That is the Archways. So we might see an early grab come on out here from Stevenson in order to contest this point. They have a great opportunity. 3 of them are gathered together. There it is! Both heroes have been caught in the back line, and the value has been found. In fact, the High Noon has been used by Stevenson, and Giraffe, despite getting the nano, gets taken out by Deadeye. With that, the point turns once more. 4 minutes on the clock, and it's still in Stevenson's favor. If you look at the top of the screen there, where you see the gray pillar next to the blue shows where Long Island needs to push it past in order to take the win if the clock strikes 0. But Stevenson can lengthen that distance just by getting the bot to push the barricade even further. What we're seeing right now is a bit of a skirmish from either side, and it's going to have to be something against this nano here, and they do find the value. The beat drop comes on out, but Stevenson is down both DPS. It's going to be up to really the Zarya here to dish out the damage. We do see that the nano is activated despite the loss of Rinzer. Damage has been dealt, and there might be hope for a recontest, but 49 has to play very, very safe, being high energy. Unfortunately, he cannot, and they're going to have to play for another regroup. We do see that Ninja Jack here has a Blossom on hand, and if you know Ninja Jack likes to go deep into the shadows and emerge from them with pure damage. And with that, now the checkpoint has been reached, but each time a checkpoint's reached, it takes a moment for the bot to initiate the push again. So as these pillars fall, once they do, then he'll make the push. Death Blossom comes on out, but it only finds Quest, as we see here. Wisner getting a double kill, and it's made even against Long Island, but the push keeps going. It seems that it won't stop, despite best efforts here. And he just barely being missed by the bullet. Stevenson now has lost the lead, and the lead is going even further beyond the point. Stevenson needs to take the momentum back in their favor in order to truly start making some plays. And it seems that's not going to be the case here as Long Island continues this push. If they get it to the end, that's game over. It shuts out the series for Stevenson. And that might be what happens here, because Stevenson has no ult available except for a possible High Noon coming up here. Let's check in on that High Noon, which is now available. Just barely escaping with the life in his hands. The grab does come on out from Giraffe. And from what we're seeing here, Stevenson now investing everything they got to try to change the point. They're trying to flip it into their possession, but it's really working not too well for them at the moment. They're able to find the pick on Zarya, which starts this domino process of point flip, but it took a while to do so. And the longer it takes to contest each time, the harder it will be for Stevenson to really make a play here. There's only 60 seconds left, and they already capped the initial first point. So they're not able to afford themselves a longer time bank. You're gonna have to stick to Steve like glue here in order to try to make a push and keep the series alive. We do see that Ninja goes right on in, Pulse Bomb follows suit, and he's in their backline. finds the initial kill, and Giraffe takes out Windsor too. Once again, the Stevenson Mustangs have lost their healers, and things are looking very, very dire. There's about 20 seconds left. If Long Island wanted to, they could leave the bot here and just push up against Stevenson. But it's important that you escort the bot so that way it takes longer in order for the bot to run back. Now we're going to be looking into overtime here. If Stevenson loses the point, it's game over. And Long Island's looking for just that. Nano comes on out as well as the overclock. And they're able to turn the point once again. However, if they're not careful, they will lose their heroes to the Reaper. And Quest does fall. Coalescence comes on out here and is just trying to stall it on out. I'm not sure what the purpose behind it was, but I don't believe that was the right move to make. As we're seeing here, Stevenson must play all hands on deck. They have no time to let this point swap here. The Archway comes on out, but it's met immediately by a grab, along with beat from Stevenson. Quest able to find the first pick onto Ninja Jack, but an amazing double kill by Ski takes out Rinzer and Wisner. The grab comes on out, but not enough to zone off Stevenson. Luckily, they're able to stay on, but the picks are too great. 49's last one on, and that's going to close it out, the series. Long Island University wins. Oh my. But our final play of the game here tonight will come out from Wisner. The overclock was just so good. Able to get a collateral damage. And just waiting for the high noon to just dwaddle on out. Well, that's going to be it for us here tonight on the stream. Don't forget, tomorrow we do have Play with Viewers, so you guys will be able to play with me, the caster. Unless there is another map to be played here. Am I wrong? Hold up. Did I read something incorrectly? I did! It's not over yet, folks. I have jumped the gun. Excuse me. I believe we're now looking at 2-1. If that's the case. Let's see here. It seems that they're going to still play it on. There is going to be one more map here. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
Young Power. Initiating match.
Welcome back, folks. I did have it wrong, excuse me. It is now 2-1 in favor of LIU because the first map was won, second map was a draw. Then Stevenson won the third map, and then LIU brought it back on the fourth. So this is the match decider here. Either LIU takes away the victory, or it's going to be Stevenson keeping it alive. And we're going to be seeing, coming on out from Long Island University, a brawl composition, while Stevenson, again, bread and butter. They love their bread and butter.
Just one more mission.
And I gotta be honest, I love my bread and butter too. So now doors will open, and we're gonna have to see if Stevenson can make the comeback of a lifetime here against Long Island University. Both of them have teleported onto a point, and it's a pure brawl fest. And if I'm honest, I believe that Long Island's gonna take away this because of just the hammer damage and target focus, along with the Reaper being able to dish it on out. And as I say, Long Island takes the point immediately. We do see that Wisner has swapped. 49! 49, you dare? Show me some life? We do see the Reinhardt here from the side of Stevenson. I'm so excited for this now. We have yet to see a Reinhardt played by 49 ever in the ECAC series. He's going right on in, and I'm all for the aggression. We're going to have to see how he plays out this brawl, because he's at a disadvantage in terms of ult economy here. And with no barrier, things are looking quite dire. But as I say that, Giraffe is the first fall, along with Ski. Wisner has found the picks he's looking for. So now, they're just going to have to try to play for even further. There's just two players left on the side of Long Island, and it's a Moira who's stalling out the point as long as possible, because this is a King of the Hill. If you get to 100, the point is won. And they won't stop stalling. This hammer comes out, and they're able to find the picks, but it's just to stall. I'm not sure if that's the way you need to go, but hey, a percentage is a percentage. And now Giraffe is swapped over to Diva. I'm not sure what the thought process here is, but okay, because after the initial shatter, I guess Diva here is great against Reinhardt for huge amounts of damage, as we're seeing a nanoed Rein just wing everybody. Oh my word, no survivors. Wizard did activate their overclock. Not sure if it was quite needed, but it's well assured to secure the kills. And Giraffe has gone back to the Reinhardt, realizing the mistake that is being Diva. You cannot work around a pokey comp. You gotta be grinding in with the brawl, and I love what I'm seeing here. Let's take it from the eyes of Cynic here, from the side of the Mustangs, who's going to be helping move around the team while healing them up. The beat is online, so that'll help keep them alive in emergency situations where needed. However, you gotta watch out for the Death Blossom that's coming up here. It's Ninja Jack, or Ninja Nick, not Ninja Jack, excuse me. Ninja Jack is someone else. And Ski with the initial kill. What a shot. But High Noon is being matched back with it. And they're trying to catch the Reaper, who's playing in the back line here. And they do just that. The Reaper's going to have to be forced away. But you got to watch out, because Giraffe's getting a bit aggressive here, as 49's the first to fall. Oh, Rinzer's going to feel that one in the morning. The damage just smushed on the wall like a fly. So Long Island University now finally able to cap the point after what is completely half of Stevenson's percentage, 45%. But Stevenson's not worried. Or should they be? Because as we can see, Long Island University has 3 ultimates ready to rock and roll with, while Stevenson themselves only has an Earth Shatter, and it's going to have to be mighty big in order to have tremendous value they're looking for. Let's see if 49 has the value. He does! He's going in with the pin, and he's securing the kills! But it's not enough. Unfortunately, they got a bit sloppy with that. So, thanks to Ski's Dragon, it's killed all of the support that Stevenson had. So they were not able to follow up on a tremendous shatter that came out from 49. So it's going to get real dicey here. Nano comes on out, and they're just going to be fighting on the point. There's the initial pick, and it seems that Long Island's going to have to lose it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. This is a great change to the Mustangs. As we can see here, they're now adopting to the brawl, and Ski is probably down. Yes, sir. Yes, he is. It's going to be up to Giraffe and Ninja Nick, but there's just not enough time to touch as you're getting zoned away. The conductor will fall. So once again, Stevenson has the first point advantage here. Actually, no. They got the point advantage on, well, when it was back on Elias. So now we're here in the museum center, which I want to say is a play on NASA. It's a little strange that way, but truly. We are going to continue seeing the brawl come on out from Long Island University. However, they are adopting the Junkrat. While for Stevenson, they're going to be using a Baptiste along with the Junkrat. I like the swaps. The changes are good here. Now we're going to have to see how both of them make their way towards point here. We'll start to see them meet right in the center here in the research facility, or better known as the White Room, when you make a call out. Quest able to find the first initial pick here thanks to just being a pure spamagram. And Haley has already activated their immortality field, so it seems that Long Island University is going to be in trouble. So now, with that in play, it's going to be up to really Long Island to try to temper themselves and find secured picks, especially since Giraffe has gone over to the Zarya. They're looking to absorb the spam in order to deal maximum damage against the Mustangs. But as we can see here, 49 cares not for such things and goes right in swinging. Beautiful. Like a true Crusader going on in. Now we see that Long Island's forced to back off here. They're going to try to be probably playing for this window along with Ski, who finds the initial pick on the Cynic. Now Stevenson's down a healer as well as movement. If they're not capable of trying to defend against that, the Shatter comes out, which stalls out the initial damage, and Zarya gets pinned through the dragons and eliminated, I should say. So Stevenson's just trying to play for time, and it's working in their favor. As we're seeing here, Wisner's just cleaning up shop, getting a quad kill, I'd say. Oh my word. Wisner, you dirty doggy, you're just killing everybody in sight. Now, it is to note that the healers here on the side of Stevenson are positioning themselves beautifully on Lijiang Tower. And that's very imperative when you have to fight against this team. What's working against Long Island at the moment is that they're constantly swapping their tank, which does not give them consistent ults to build up. The tire comes on out from Quest, and it's going to get a kill. The initial kill they're looking for. As he starts to take to the high ground, realizes it's just not to be found there. But they're doing everything right on the side of Stevenson University here. It's going to be going for an overtime play. It's going to be Giraffe that's going to have to make the touch here. They're trying to find the pick, and he does on Rinzer. As the Reaper's not able to get a Death Blossom elimination. The focus right now for Stevenson is just to take up the picks, and a massive shatter coming on out, just getting the double play. My word. That's going to clean up shop here. Stevenson takes away Lijiang Tower, tying up the series 2-2. Oh my. But you can't forget Ski with this Shatter Dragon Play combo. Something beautiful. The first, the second. Make that a third, too, down the line. And cleaning up the Rhine. Wait a minute. The ace of spades was stolen from him. But you gotta love the effort. I'll be right back with you folks. We're gonna have to figure out what map we go to next. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Oasis.
Alright everyone, welcome back. We're now on the final map. It is Oasis. We're starting off here in the University. Biggest thing about this place is that it's great for top space. As you can see, with just the cameraman alone, you can go as high as this if you're a flying character, which is very, very annoying for any team to fight against. It seems that a player has been bugged out, and we're now going to be on to the gardens. This doesn't usually happen, but if both sides are okay with it, it goes through nonetheless. And I don't believe there was any issues with it prior. So now that you're on the gardens, again, lots of high ground and open space. However, this, again, I mentioned it just moments ago, it's high ground. High ground's going to be a key plane here, so you could work a dive with flying characters. Or you got to work the brawl here, and right now I'm loving the brawl. I love to see the brawl. The brawl is working in their favor, and if they keep this up, they're sure to win this for the side of Stevenson. As for Long Island University, the Sharks here, the Sharks are starting to get worn down, I believe. I could be completely wrong, but it's starting to show that their energy is waning from them. It doesn't seem like they have the same amount of momentum they had in the earlier rounds. So a bit concerning, to say the least. But we do see that the escort's going to go right beneath, while Stevenson takes the high ground in return. Little does Stevenson know that they are down below. But now they do, and it seems that it might be Quest that drops first. Whoever drops, they're going to have to make sure they make a proper target focus. The point now opens on up, and we're going to be seeing here points starting to get captured. And it's going to be Reinhardt that makes the push on in. Trying to get this Reaper here is successful in doing so, as Reaper not gracefully falling off the map. However, Long Island does take the initial capture, so Stevenson's going to have to take it right back from them. It's only about 10% or so, but it's enough. You do see that the Kiriko has been trapped in the Mega Room and is able to successfully escape for a regroup. Great playing from Zaza. The thing about Kiriko is that you're going to be playing similar to a Zenyatta, where you go for single heals that sticks to your allies while also dealing range damage. It's slow, but your haste and immortality ability is going to be what really plays in favor for you. Now, Stevenson here playing with the brawl. They are down their Lucio, so it's going to be really big on targeted focus here. And possible healing. Unfortunately, it's just not enough. Even Rinzer trying his best to help the team out. But what's this? He's able to keep Quest up. Quest is up and dealing all the damage needed. No one is contesting Rinzer, so because of this, this is clutching it up for Stevenson to stall it on out despite losing the Reinhardt. My word, if not for Rinzer, this point was surely lost. Now, with a window in effect, and Giraffe has swapped off the Zarya. That was halfway to a grab, and that's gone now. That is purely gone. They're going to have to play for really target focus here, because the more they swap with this Mystery Heroes gameplay, the worse it's going to get for them. Ults are needed in these upcoming fights. Let's take it from the eyes of Ninja Nick, who starts to make the push with the Diva, but the Shatter comes on out, and Ryan is going all in. Does get slept, but it matters not. He cares not for the damage coming in his face. However, Ninja Nick gets a pick, but Quest is able to trade it back twofold, and Rinzer has activated the window. Thanks to a beat drop, he stays alive, but it's in vain. He does get the overtime with the help of Cynics, and now they're going to be playing just for 1 point split. Once the point flips here, now that it's been at 99, they immediately win the point, instead of having the fight in overtime. So really it's going to be up to Long Island to not lose this point for the rest of this map. Seems that we're going to be seeing a bit of the same play from before here, as Stevenson makes their way pushing on in from underneath. However, they are slowed and staggering themselves out. In fact, they immediately back off, realizing that is not the fight they want to take. Instead, they're going to make their way through the room in order to claim the high ground. A very, very smart play, I must say. I like the communication and strategy you're seeing come out from either side. And Ninja Nick is one hit away from death, but is able to live nonetheless. The bomb comes on out, not able to find anyone. And we're now seeing Wisner activate the overclock, finding the first 2 kills before getting slept by Haley, Biana, on the side of the Sharks. And despite everything, Haley is just not in a position to heal, and it seems that Stevenson's going to take full control of this point. Oh, what's this? Overtime is in effect. I'm a bit surprised to see this, but it's happening. However, Giraffe is not there in time to touch. So, first point goes to Stevenson, and match point in favor of Stevenson now. I was going to be honest, the way this match was going, if you had to pay me to say who was going to win this, I would say hands down analytically, it was going to be Long Island University. But since then, the tables have turned, and Stevenson has truly shown what they are made of. So now we're going to have to see if Stevenson can just shut out the Sharks' hopes and dreams. Or if the Sharks can swim back to the surface to gobble up this competition. We'll take it from the eyes of Ninja Nick, the sneaky beaky like player he is. The cat's meow, I should say. But they're not anywhere near to start this contest. In fact, look at the way Stevenson's positioned here. They're playing the low ground purposely against the high ground with advantageous positioning that fits to their brawl style. They're not going to be playing against this high ground comp that Long Island's using. Instead, Long Island's going to have to force themselves onto Stevenson in order to get any sort of value here. And as we can see here, Ninja Nick made a costly mistake. But it seems that Giraffe's trying to go right in. If Ryan didn't have the ability to stop, we definitely would have seen some German pace there. And Long Island's going to have to play for a regroup. Ninja Nick now selecting the Soldier 76. It should definitely help. The spam damage will help here, being on Soldier. However, the movement is great from the side of Stevenson. So that's going to be a disadvantage that they're going to have to try to fight against. Because as Stevenson brawls, they stick together like a pod. They're not going to leave one another. As you know, Mustangs travel in herds, but Sharks swim alone. So we're going to have to see how that's going to differentiate between these team fights here. As we can see, we're seeing a bit of the exact same gameplay as earlier. Rinzer is dodging literally everything being thrown at him, my word, and still healing the team up despite running all the way from the spawn to do so. But damage has been too great, and Stevenson cannot contest the point any longer. Now, the point has swapped over to Long Island University. Now that the point has been lost, Long Island can touch ever so slightly as much as they want, because they were forced to be playing the point last time because Stevenson had control. But now that they have control, they just need to keep one person on at all times to stall out point, even if they get picked off one by one. But Cynic is the first to fall for the side of Stevenson, so they either need to find a pick or to just regroup, and I believe they're doing the latter here. As we can see, Ski has activated the overclock, and thankfully, because of Kiriko, is able to stay alive through it. Right now, Stevenson's being pincered at the moment, but as I say that, Ninja Jack falls immediately, and we're seeing that Reinhardt here is making his way in, taking out the competition. The remake comes on out and able to not actually get the successful pin, but successfully turn the point indeed. So now Long Island again is going to have to play for, oh no, Giraffe has been staggered out, so Long Island's going to be down their tank for another 5 seconds. And that's 5 additional seconds. That goes to Stevenson's point capture here. With 85% on the clock here, it only leaves 10 seconds left for Long Island to try to make a contest and a chance at reclaiming victory for this series. The archways come on out, but they're met by a window. We're seeing how their quest is going to be 1v1ing this window, or the visor I should say. And it seems Ryan's going all in for the aggressive. However, the damage is too great, and the point will swap right back over to Long Island University. They have no chances for mistakes here. If they lose this again, Stevenson takes it away. It is all Stevenson needs in order to shut out this series. And they know it too. So they're going to be trying to make some plays here. All Stevenson has is the Death Blossom from Quest. While Haley has their Coalescence and the Overclock is coming online for Ski, Stevenson's just playing again in the room. They're taking their time, waiting for the speed to come up, so that way they can make a rush in together all at once. And here they come. As you can see, there's not a lot of damage coming on out. They're kind of just waiting for a mistake to be taking place, and the mistake has come on out. Quest finding the double kill. Just barely making it out alive. Now it's really going to be up to Long Island to try to play for stall and some tremendous picks, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that here tonight, folks. It's overtime, but Stevenson has swapped it. Oh, Rinzer! Denti! And that's going to leave it here at the series, folks. Stevenson University wins. This play game here featured by Quest, the Reaper of the Mustangs. If you take a close look here, he was going all in through the mid-fight here and was able to help turn the tables in favor of Stevenson despite losing the Reinhardt in this fight. What a match tonight, folks. Don't go anywhere. It is your turn to play a part. You're going to be voting for tonight's MVP, so stay tuned for those results. Alrighty then, folks, welcome on back. So, you have all voted for your MVP, but we have a little surprise for you tonight. Rather than just sharing who the MVP is here, we're going to bring it right on in. Say hello to the Mustangs team.
Sammy!
Team interview.
Hello there, everybody. So here is our team from Stevenson University. I'll go down the line here. First, we'll have Quest.
What's up?
Followed by Cynic.
Cynic's muted.
Hello.
There he is. Followed next by 49.
Hello.
Wisner.
Hello.
And Rinzer.
What it do?
This is our team here tonight. I'll have a question for each of you. So starting in that order, we'll go from top bottom, one question each. Quest.
Yo,
Are you ready?
I guess.
So when you were looking at these games, what was your plan having to move from the Genji to the hit scan? What was your thought process there?
Well, I wasn't doing too hot on Genji, I guess, so I just switched to McCree, good old McCree, or Cassidy, sorry.
Cassidy. There you
And,
go.
yeah, I don't know. He's just a go-to for me, I guess. Pretty consistent on him, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Moving on to Cynic. We saw a number of beat drops there. And my word, were they actually just tremendous to see. What was the communication there going on in?
So usually for beats, unless someone asks for it, there's just a couple things that I look for. You know, big enemy ultimates that we're trying to counter, or if I see someone dropping low, and I think we just need a little more help to get into an engage. And then just trying not to Ajax is the main thing.
Gotcha. Moving on to 49. I'm wondering if you know my question already.
I have a feeling I know what it is.
So why the Zarya to Ryan swap? I love it, but what was the thought process? Why the swap then?
So it's just a different like play style and what like enables our team. So Zarya is like really good with just being able to bubble people like whenever they're like around, but Ryan encourages a lot more like coordinated and being together, and that favors our team a lot more than the Zarya. And so especially on control when everything's a lot like close together, playing Ryan is very favorable, and I think we just found that out tonight that Ryan really suits us.
Yeah, you know, I'm just saying this. I've been waiting for you guys to play Ryan for the last 4 weeks.
That's, yeah.
In any case, moving on to Wisner. We've been seeing you get so many games. How do you position yourself so well? Like, is there a thought process? How do you do it?
Yeah, I mean, really what I try to do is play back with the support line at the beginnings of fights, because I like to really see if I can just charge up the rail and look for any picks and make sure that no one's going to dive on them. But then once the fight breaks down, I notice that a lot of the time, especially with 40 on the Rhine, he's just putting so much pressure that the enemy team is scattering, and it just opens them up for so many free shots. So even when we go down in a fight, I feel confident enough to ult, even if it's just like Rinzer and 49 that are up, because I know that we can pull that back.
Amazing. And last but not least, Rinzer. My word, the amount of healing we saw come out, I'm going to be honest, was not looking too hot on the Ana. However, when you went over to that Baptiste, I saw you dodge bullets, go in and out of railgun shots, and literally just lay everything down on the line to heal your team there. What was going through your mind?
I mean, it's just the game that we play, because when we're playing payload or if we're playing push or anything like that, we need the long-term, the long-range heals on 49 stuff. When we're playing control, we're all grouped like that. We can maintain high ground, we can maintain side, point everything. If we have BAP, it'll be able to get the group healing. That way, I can keep 49 alive and all of the tank and the DPS alive. Honestly, I like Ana more. My sleeps were on point tonight. I had a couple good sleeps against the Moyers and stuff, but in all honesty, the BAP just was the game winner for us. I mean, everyone played their game tonight, and we had a good game.
Indeed you did. Well, I'm going to not end it quite yet. I believe we have one sub come on in. He didn't get to show himself tonight, but he's here in the VC. Say hello, Stunty.
Hello.
So Stunty here is the sub from the side of Stevenson, and he's going to be getting one more question too. The last question tonight, Stunty. Whenever the team calls on you, we know you're there. You're always trying to help the team out. What is your mental for this?
I mean, I'm just hyped. I'm glad to see the fellas prosper. I'm glad to be here. When I'm needed, I'm here for these fellas.
That's great to hear.
Love you, Stunty.
Love you, Stunty.
Love you more,
Stunty.
fellas.
Stunty's the GOAT.
Wow.
Team mascot.
Alrighty. Well, that's going to clean it up here for us tonight over on the Stevenson casting. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.